Spinning through a cloud of glitter and patriotism made Lynda Carter look like the most untouchable woman on television, the kind of star people assumed had fame, fortune, and total control, all wrapped up in one star-spangled package. To a generation of viewers, Wonder Woman meant beauty, strength, justice, and a heroine who seemed born to rule the screen. What made the image so powerful is that Carter did not play Diana Prince like some smug superhuman. She played her with warmth, calm, and a kind of grounded confidence that made audiences want to be near her, not just stare at her. Right up front, tell us in the comments whether Lynda Carter is still your definitive Wonder Woman or if another version took that crown for you. The surprise is that while she looked larger than life in the role that made her famous, Lynda Carter has revealed that she was nearly broke when Wonder Woman arrived. Last dollars.
I've been up and I've been down. I've been in and I've been out.
Long before the tiara, the bracelets, and the famous spin, Lynda Carter was trying to build a career the hard way. She had sung in bands, played lounges, and chased opportunities that looked glamorous from a distance but were much less glamorous up close. Like a lot of hopeful performers, she was trying to stay in the game long enough for one real break to finally show up. By the time Wonder Woman entered the picture, that break needed to come fast. Carter had already used up most of the money she had saved from her music work and time on the road. The dream was still alive, but the bank account was not exactly backing it up. Carter has said she had just $25 in the bank on the day she learned she got the part. She was close to heading back to Arizona, which means one of television's most perfect casting choices nearly vanished right before it happened. On screen, she looked born for the crown, but off screen, she was hanging on by a thread. It's one of those old Hollywood stories that reminds you how many icons are almost ordinary people again just days before history turned in their favor. Getting Diana right.
I've been up and I've been down. I've been in and I've been out.
Carter did not walk into the role thinking the costume alone would do the work. She understood very quickly that playing Wonder Woman like a loud, chest-thumping superhero would make the character ridiculous. Her instinct was to make Diana feel like a real person who simply happened to have unusual abilities. That choice turned out to be the key. Carter later explained that if someone tries too hard to act heroic, the performance starts to feel fake, almost like a cartoon. So instead of forcing grandeur into every line, she leaned into restraint. Diana was strong, but she was never impressed with herself. She also pushed back against the fear swirling around the character at the time. Some people warned her that women would dislike the role, or that the series might clash with the energy of the women's movement. Carter didn't buy that. She wanted women to respond to Diana as someone admirable, not threatening. That is why her version lasted. There was power in the character, but there was also sweetness, intelligence, and decency. Carter seemed to understand that Wonder Woman did not need to lecture people about strength. She just needed to embody it. A tougher climb. There was another problem Carter had to fight from the start. Wonder Woman was famous, but that did not mean Hollywood fully respected her. For years, people in the industry kept missing what made the character work. They often treated her like she was supposed to be a female copy of a male superhero. Carter rejected that idea completely. She argued that Wonder Woman came from a different place. She was an Amazon princess with strong values, a sense of sisterhood, and a more humane way of dealing with conflict. In Carter's view, that kindness was not a weakness, it was the character's center. She was blunt about what Hollywood kept getting wrong. In one interview, Carter said, quote, "They missed the point of Wonder Woman." That frustration did not come out of nostalgia alone. It came from watching producers circle the property for years without understanding that the character needed humanity as much as spectacle. Her comments also explained why so many revivals stumbled. Carter believed the role needed feminine insight and emotional balance, not just action scenes and shiny armor. It helps explain why later attempts kept stalling, getting mocked, or never making it to air. They could recreate the costume, but not the soul. The price of being an icon.
Yeah, you have to understand the time. Now, I was in Hollywood during a time where there were no women in television. They did not think, first of all, that a woman could hold a series. They did not think that women would tune in to watch an hour long with a woman as the lead. They also said, oh, women are just going to hate you, so just get ready.
Even after the show became a hit, fame brought its own discomforts. Carter was adored, photographed, and marketed everywhere. But that didn't mean she was fully at ease with the way the culture consumed her image. The attention could be flattering, but it could also feel invasive. Her poster success is a good example. It sold over 1 million copies, yet Carter later spoke about it with clear discomfort. She said her involvement was basically taking a photograph that she did not even think much of at the time. The public treated it like a fantasy object, while she saw something much more complicated. That tension followed her beyond posters. Carter later admitted she never set out to become a sexual object for strangers. She disliked the idea of men staring at her body and projecting their fantasies onto her. For viewers, the costume was part of the fun. For Carter, it sometimes came with a loss of control over how she was being seen. That makes the broke as Wonder Woman angle even sharper. She wasn't just underpaid in the emotional sense of giving more than she got back. She entered the role with almost nothing, then became a giant symbol people thought they owned. The money problem may have changed fast, but the personal cost was harder to shake. Life beyond the spin. What makes Carter's story richer is she never let Wonder Woman become the end of her identity. After the series, she kept moving through music, television, film, stage work, and later even video game projects. She's built a long career instead of simply living off one famous role. She had already been a singer before the show, and she returned to that part of herself again and again. Musical specials, albums, live performances, and cabaret work let her step outside the superhero frame. She was not just revisiting old glory, she was proving she had more range than television had first asked of her. At the same time, she gradually made peace with the role that changed everything. Unlike some actors who spend years trying to outrun a signature character, Carter came to see Wonder Woman as something bigger than herself. She understood that the public's attachment to Diana Prince was tied to their own memories and hopes. That's probably why she's worn the legacy so well in later years, whether appearing in Supergirl, supporting newer interpretations, or laughing about having a bobblehead made in her image. Carter seems to understand the full arc of it now. The woman who once had $25 left did not just survive the machine, she became part of television history. Now it's time to hear from you. Does Lynda Carter's story make Wonder Woman feel even more impressive to you? Let us know in the comments section below.